Imagine preparing for a journey driven by compassion, only to be met with an unexpected barrier, not at your destination, but at the very start. It was a crisp morning, the kind that promised a fresh start, as Dr. Aisha Johnson, a young African-American physician, arrived at the bustling airport. Her heart swelled with a quiet purpose. Today, she was embarking on a humanitarian mission to Palestine, a journey she had meticulously planned, driven by a deep-seated desire to help children in need. Her chosen attire for the long flight was simple: a comfortable white t-shirt adorned with the Palestinian flag and the words "Free Palestine." To her, it was a subtle declaration of solidarity, a quiet prayer for peace. But peace was far from what awaited her. As she approached the security checkpoint, a stern-faced airport employee, clad in a crisp uniform, stopped her. "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to remove that shirt, or you won't be permitted to board." Aisha's brows furrowed in confusion. "Excuse me? What's wrong with my shirt?" The employee's voice hardened. "It's a security risk. Disruptive. You'll need to change, or you'll have to leave the airport." A wave of frustration washed over Aisha, quickly followed by a sense of injustice. Here she was, a doctor, a healer, about to embark on a mission of mercy, and she was being singled out for a piece of cloth. The palpable feeling of being judged and singled out, despite her noble intentions, was a bitter pill to swallow. Other passengers began to stare, some with curiosity, others with thinly veiled judgment. Aisha felt a blush creep up her neck. This seemingly ordinary day was about to take an extraordinary turn, challenging preconceived notions and opening doors to a deeper understanding. Stay with us to witness how a moment of discrimination can transform into an unexpected turning point. In moments of tension, a single voice of calm can cut through the noise, offering clarity and a path forward. The confrontation escalated. Aisha, initially trying to reason, felt her voice rising with a mixture of disbelief and indignation. The security employee remained unyielding, a rigid adherence to rules overriding any attempt at dialogue. "I'm a doctor. I'm traveling to Palestine to provide medical aid to children," Aisha pleaded, gesturing to her carry-on, which was filled with essential medical supplies. But her words seemed to fall on deaf ears. The situation was teetering on the edge of becoming a full-blown public spectacle. Unbeknownst to them, a woman of distinguished bearing, Ms. Evelyn Reed, the CEO of the airport security operations, noticed the escalating situation from a distance. Ms. Reed, a seasoned and respected figure within the airport's complex ecosystem, possessed an acute understanding of both protocol and human nature. Her intuition, honed by years of navigating intricate security landscapes, told her there was more to this story than met the eye. She saw not just a confrontation, but a potential misunderstanding, a disconnect between intention and perception. With a calm yet authoritative stride, she approached, her presence commanding attention, and gently but firmly interjected, "What seems to be the problem here?" The security employee, surprised by the CEO's sudden appearance, quickly explained the situation, emphasizing the disruptive nature of Aisha's shirt. Ms. Reed turned her gaze to Aisha, her eyes holding a surprising depth of inquiry rather than judgment. "Young lady," she began, her voice soft yet clear, "can you tell me why you're wearing that shirt today and where you're headed?" Aisha, initially defensive, felt a flicker of hope. Someone was finally listening. She took a deep breath and explained her purpose, her voice gaining strength with each word. "My name is Dr. Aisha Johnson. I'm a pediatrician. I'm on my way to Palestine to volunteer with a humanitarian organization, providing medical care to children who desperately need it. This shirt, it's just a personal statement of support for the people I'm going to help. It's not meant to cause any trouble." She held Ms. Reed's gaze, her honesty palpable. Ms. Reed listened intently, her expression unreadable. Aisha felt a palpable relief, a loosening of the knot of anxiety that had tightened in her chest. The contrast between Ms. Reed's measured, empathetic approach and the prior harshness was stark. It was as if a sudden ray of sunlight had pierced through a heavy cloud. What began as a misunderstanding quickly unfolded into a narrative of shared humanity, paving the way for an unexpected invitation. Discover how empathy can bridge divides and transform conflict into connection. Beyond the headlines and political narratives, there are individuals dedicating their lives to alleviating suffering, driven purely by the desire to help. Dr. Aisha Johnson's journey into medicine wasn't just a career choice. It was a profound calling deeply rooted in her own experiences. Growing up in a community where healthcare disparities were a stark reality, she witnessed firsthand the profound impact a lack of access to medical care could have on families, particularly on children. This early exposure ignited a fire within her, a burning desire to not just treat illness, but to mend lives and build healthier futures. Her specific interest in global health, especially pediatric care in underserved regions, led her to this humanitarian mission. She wasn't driven by political ideologies or grandstanding. She was driven by a fundamental belief in a universal right to health and well-being for every child, regardless of their circumstances or location. Aisha had meticulously prepared for months, going beyond her medical training to equip herself for the unique challenges of humanitarian work. She researched the prevailing medical needs of children in the region, understanding the common ailments they faced, from malnutrition and infectious diseases to the psychological trauma of conflict. She even dedicated evenings to learning basic phrases in Arabic, hoping to better connect with her young patients and their families, to offer not just treatment, but also comfort and reassurance. Her carry-on was a testament to her dedication, filled not with personal luxuries, but with essential medical supplies, antibiotics, vaccines, rehydration salts, wound dressings, and even a few small, comforting toys for her future patients. She was prepared to offer vaccinations, treat common infections, and provide basic health education that could empower communities to better care for themselves. This wasn't about taking sides in a geopolitical struggle. It was profoundly human. It was about offering a hand, a healing touch, to those who had very little. She carried a quiet strength within her, an unwavering resolve that stemmed from her deep empathy for children and her conviction in the power of medicine to alleviate suffering. She had made sacrifices to pursue this mission, turning down more lucrative opportunities to dedicate her skills where they were most desperately needed. With her story understood, the stage was set for a truly remarkable act of recognition and support. Learn about the profound impact one person's compassion can have on countless lives. Sometimes the most powerful gestures of leadership aren't about authority, but about recognizing and empowering a noble purpose. Ms. Evelyn Reed, the CEO, listened intently to Aisha's heartfelt explanation. She observed the young doctor's earnestness, her passion for helping others, and the quiet dignity with which she carried herself. In Aisha, Ms. Reed saw not a political agitator, but a dedicated professional driven by the purest of intentions. She understood that while airport security protocols were crucial for safety and order, human compassion and the spirit of humanitarian aid often transcended rigid bureaucratic hurdles. There were moments when rules needed to bend to accommodate a greater good. In a move that surprised everyone present, including her own security staff, Ms. Reed extended an unprecedented invitation. "Doctor," she began, her voice resonating with quiet authority, "your mission is commendable, and your shirt, in this context, is a symbol of hope, not a threat." She then paused, her gaze sweeping over the astonished faces of her employees before settling back on Aisha. "Please, you'll be joining me on the flight." Aisha's jaw dropped. She blinked, trying to process Ms. Reed's words. It wasn't just a seat on the plane. It was a public endorsement of Aisha's mission, a powerful statement against prejudice, and a testament to the fact that leadership could and should be empathetic. It was a remarkable act of trust, a bridge built in a moment of potential conflict. The other security personnel, witnessing their CEO's decisive and unexpected action, quickly stepped aside. Their initial rigidity, born of adherence to protocol, was replaced with a quiet acknowledgement of a larger purpose at play. They understood that their leader had just redefined security to include the security of human dignity and the facilitation of compassionate action. Aisha felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude and validation wash over her. The heavy weight of misunderstanding lifted, replaced by a surge of relief and quiet joy. She was seen, truly seen, not as a potential problem, but as a valuable human being with a noble purpose. Ms. Reed, with a small, knowing smile, gestured for Aisha to follow her. Together, they walked through the terminal, past the lingering stares and hushed whispers, heading directly to the boarding gate. This incredible moment at the airport was just the beginning of a broader conversation about unity, understanding, and the power of individual action. Witness a remarkable act of leadership that prioritized humanity over policy. In a world often marked by division, stories like Aisha's remind us of the immense power of connection, empathy, and collective action. Dr. Aisha Johnson's journey, from being unjustly accused to being invited aboard by a compassionate CEO, is more than just an anecdote. It's a powerful reminder that empathy and understanding can dismantle barriers. This extraordinary encounter at the airport transcends the specifics of a T-shirt or a particular political stance. It underscores the simple yet profound truth. When we take the time to truly see and listen to one another, when we look beyond superficial judgments and preconceived notions, we discover shared values and common ground, regardless of our backgrounds or beliefs. Ms. Reed's decision to invite Aisha onto the plane was not merely an act of kindness. It was an act of profound leadership. It demonstrated that true security lies not in rigid adherence to rules that stifle humanity, but in fostering an environment of trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Her actions sent a clear message that humanitarian efforts are vital, that compassion should be championed, and that people dedicated to alleviating suffering deserve support, not suspicion. This incident wasn't just about a T-shirt. It was about a fundamental right to compassion, a testament to the fact that humanitarian efforts transcend politics. It was a powerful illustration of how individual courage and leadership can transform a moment of conflict into an opportunity for connection and positive change. This story serves as a gentle yet powerful call to action for each of us. It encourages us to challenge our own biases, to cultivate a habit of listening before judging, and to offer kindness and understanding in our daily interactions. Just as the CEO chose to support Aisha's crucial mission, we too can choose to support causes that uplift humanity, whether it's through volunteering, donating, or simply by spreading messages of hope and unity. Every act of compassion, no matter how small, contributes to a larger ripple effect of positive change in our world. If Aisha's story resonated with you, if it sparked a sense of hope or inspired you to look for ways to make a difference, we encourage you to share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Let's continue this conversation and explore how acts of kindness, both big and small, can create a ripple effect of positive change in our world. And if you're interested in learning more about humanitarian aid or how you can support children in conflict zones, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and continue this important discussion.